Okay, thank you very much, Greg, and welcome to the Summit in Houston, Texas. The Rockets 4-3 at home, 1-4 on the road. There is Bill Fitch, the head coach of the Houston Rockets. 551 career wins, just 6 behind Al Attles for 6th place in the list of winningest NBA coaches. And there's Billy Cunningham, of course, who reached the 200 and 300 level win faster than anybody in the history of the NBA. And, of course, Ralph Sampson, 21.3 points, 12.3 rebounds a game. He's also throwing back over 2 block shots a contest. Mark Ivoroni, former University of Virginia player, and Moses Malone comes back to Houston, 23.2 points per game, almost 16 rebounds a contest. Mr. Malone, Mr. Sampson, say hello to Moses and welcome to the real NBA. Bill Ford will match up on Maurice Cheeks. Walker on Ivoroni. Lewis Lloyd on Tony. We'll watch that matchup. Tony had a big game against San Antonio. Andrew wide open and nails it. Andrew Tony, who had a big game the other night. 34 points, his season high against San Antonio. Nails the first shot. Ivoroni will match up on Caldwell Jones. Moses on Ralph. And Dr. J on Wally Walker. Rebound by Julius Erving.
Well, the first possession right there, Roger. They're going down into Sampson. He spun and took the jumper from the baseline, which Malone wants him to do.
Lewis Lloyd, of course, had the big opening game, the triple-double on national television against San Antonio. And Tony's going to take it right in. No whistle. Malone, the offensive board, and in.
Well, he's the king down inside. Once he gets in the paint on the glass, nobody does it better than Moses Malone.
Phil Ford pushes it up, drops it off to Walker. Caldwell Jones on top. In and out. And Malone another rebound. Julius. And the foul's going to be on Caldwell Jones.
Foul is on number 27, Caldwell Jones. First personal. 13th foul on the Rockets.
There's Caldwell Jones, who came over from Philadelphia.
Julius Erving at the line, shooting 2.
You watch Malone operating on the inside. He gets inside position, keeps the ball alive, uses his body, seals off the defensive player, squares it, lays it on the glass, and you have the conversion.
Erving 75% from the free throw line.
He's been playing a lot of minutes, Roger. You're talking about 36 minutes a night, and he's been getting some big 30-point games, but he's had a few subpar halves where he's been absolutely blanked for a half.
Generally on back-to-back games. We saw that earlier in the year. He had a big game against the Knicks. Next night in Atlanta, did not have such a good night. And that's what happens when you get up into the 30s of NBA basketball. Sixers lead at 6-0. Walker. Air ball, and Malone another rebound. He has got 3 in a hurry. Tony will bounce it into Julius. To Moses. And the foul. Separating the traveling called on Moses Malone.
Moses definitely traveled in the lane. Little intimidation down inside with the size of Sampson. Malone posts up real strong, gets it, puts it to the deck. 7'4", that's a lot of size.
Ford into Sampson. 9 on the shot clock. Lewis Lloyd from outside. And Caldwell Jones, the offensive rebound. And in. Caldwell Jones, who's the leading field goal percentage shooter for the Houston Rockets, averaging over 12 points a game, and that's the first 2 for Houston. Philadelphia with the 6-2 lead.
Jones is matching up on Dr. J. We have his big size against Julius.
Moses, the fall-away shot, and traveling again. Moses has been known to shuffle it a couple of times. It just depends who's working the game as to how they'll call it. So he's going to have to be a little careful there. Sampson, move it in a little closer. The jump hook it in.
Trademark. A guy like Kareem, who has the sky hook and the little turnaround jumper, he's got to get a trademark shot that he can go to down the stretch.
Julius off the glass. Malone another rebound. And a whistle. Call by Barry Rogan. Foul's going to be on number 42, Wally Walker, and that is his first.
Moses Malone at the line, shooting 2.
We take a look at Sampson posting inside. They try to force him away from coming across the lane, but he shoots a skyhook. I'll tell you something, that jump hook that he just took there was like from about 14 feet. That's not a 6-foot shot.
But on that particular play, Dick, he was able to establish position in closer than he was the first couple of times down.
Well, you know, if he has to work in one area of his body, everybody talks about strength.
It's going to be Philadelphia basketball. Malone missed both free throws, and it was knocked out by Sampson, so Philadelphia will have it in.
You know, Roger, as I was saying, if he has to work on one part of his body, I believe it's the thigh area, so that he can be strong to hold position down on the boxes and not allow people to push him out.
Andrew Toney misses, and the rebound by Wally Walker, but stolen by Julius Irving. Jay laid back that time. Ivoroni to Malone. Moses he'll dish it off to Julius, and in. Give the assist to Moses Malone that time. Julius Irving now with 4 points, and it's 8-4 at the other end. Wally Walker.
That's the pace they want to play at, Roger. They want to use the whole 94 feet and run the basketball up the floor.
Inbounds. Foul called.
Offensive foul, number 10.
Going to be on Maurice Cheeks, the offensive foul.
Take a look at it right here. Great defensive parallel stance by Phil Ford to draw the charge.
Moses trying to move Ralph out. Doesn't want him to get way down low. Ivoroni on Caldwell Jones. Fall-away shot won't go, and Moses another rebound. Ralph deflects it. They're going to have to watch that release pass. Lewis Lloyd and Malone the rebound.
That was a vicious rebound. That was an NBA dominant rebound.
But Moses is going to have to watch that. Ralph standing 7'4", putting the arms up in the air, and if Moses wants to go deep and get the easy two, not going to be as easy against this man. 7 on the shot clock. Down to 5 now. 3. Cheeks will take it with 1 on the shot clock and hits.
Basket is good by Maurice Cheeks.
First 2 for Maurice Cheeks, and it's 10-6. Phil Ford, the spinning move, and Ivoroni the rebound.
That was Phil Ford, vintage Ford, when he played for Kansas City and the University of North Carolina.
Toney. And Caldwell Jones the rebound. Jones pulling down over 7 boards a game. 7:40 left to go, first period. There's Caldwell, wide open.
Great movement without the basketball. Caldwell Jones, Roger, is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He's a great defensive player, blocks shots, and does it all on the front line. He gets no headlines.
Ivoroni trying to cut the lane. They get it to him. To Moses, gets Ralph in the air and slams it home. Sampson's gone for that first fake, Dick, on several occasions here in the early going.
Well, he lifted him with a good head fake.
Ralph puts it to the floor. Ford to Lewis Lloyd, and in. Lewis Lloyd with his first 2, averaging 15.9 points per game. Over 4 rebounds and 4 assists a game. Third-year man from Drake. 12-10 now. Sixers the 2-point lead, and Julius with Caldwell on him, and he throws it away.
Well, interesting matchup right there by Bill Fitch playing Caldwell Jones on Dr. J to try and force Julius, especially in a half-court game, Roger, to have to shoot over and to beat the dominant size that Jones has.
Timeout on the floor. 6:42 left to go, first period. Sixers lead it by 2, 12-10. What sort of impact will Ralph Sampson have on the Houston Rockets? Well, let's take a look at some of the other great centers. Bill Russell, when he came to the Celtics, they had the 2nd best record in the league. The next year, the very best record. Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia Warriors, when he came to them, 3rd worst record in the league. The next year, the 2nd best record in the league. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Milwaukee Bucks, what a turnaround. 2nd worst record to the 2nd best record. And then Bill Walton of the Portland Trail Blazers, the 2nd worst record the year before, then the 7th worst record. But keep in mind, Walton played in just 35 games in that particular year, 74-75. You know, Russell came in with some great players like Sharman, Cousy, and Heinsohn. Chamberlain had Arizon, Gola, and Guy Rogers. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had people like Flynn Robinson and Bobby Dandridge and John McLaughlin. Dandridge, a pretty solid player. And Walton played with Wicks, Petrie, and John Johnson. So gives you a little bit of an idea what some of the great centers did. And we'll follow Ralph Sampson's situation here in Houston and bring you up to date on what sort of impact he will have on this particular franchise. Bobby Jones has checked into the game now. And Julius Irving has sat down as Sampson takes the jump shot outside.
Well, that's one of the trademarks of Ralph Sampson, the perimeter jump shot. However, a lot of people, including yours truly, would rather see him go down in the paint than become a perimeter-oriented player, Roger.
Dick, I think you're right, but I think that'll come with time. I don't know if he's going to do it this year, but Another 15, 20 pounds. He'll be down mixing it up with this guy as he is right now. But he's just too strong. Moses Malone just too strong, as Big Moses now with 6 points.
Well, he can't allow him to get the basketball down there. He's got to use his quickness to deny the ball to Moses a little better.
14-12. Lewis Lloyd from 19 feet and hits.
Well, Lewis Lloyd, known as Black Magic, you know, he's turned on. He's from Overbrook High School in Philadelphia, and he's really turned on against the 76ers.
That was his team when he was growing up in Philly. Moses down low, blocked by Ralph Sampson, his first rejection. Billy Cunningham yelling for the foul. Sampson the trailer.
Oh! Yes. That's transition at its best. Showtime.
16-14, Rockets with their first lead in the game. 5:19 to go, first period. And there is one thing that man can do, and that is run the basketball floor. 7 on the shot clock now. 3 on the shot clock, and a 3-second violation on Moses Malone as Tony couldn't decide whether to take the pop from outside or throw it in.
You know, Sampson took advantage, as we look on the sideline of Billy Cunningham, of Moses Malone was crying and moaning at the official, and Mr. Sampson was running like an unbelievable sprinter up and down the floor, and he slammed that baby home while Moses was moaning and groaning.
I think there's one thing we can say. If Ralph Sampson was 6'4", he'd still be a basketball player in the NBA. I don't know if Moses Malone would be at that height. Ford outside hits. Phil Ford has gotten off to a great start with this Rockets franchise, averaging over 7 points and better than 6 assists a game. He was let go by Milwaukee last year as Cheeks throws it up and misses, and Sampson the rebound. This Houston team loves to run with the basketball. Ford to Caldwell Jones, and Ivoroni the rebound.
They're really going to be exciting for the Houston fans. They're playing a very enthusiastic style and a fast pace, which people absolutely love.
And Bill Fitch can go to his bench. He can bring people like Alan Level and Bobby Joe Reed. And a whistle down low. Foul is going to be on Ralph Sampson of the Houston Rockets.
We watched them working down in the box. There's Mr. Malone leaning, backing in, and Sampson. He's been getting a lot of what we call cheap fouls, Roger, getting in foul trouble, but that'll come with experience. Once he learns how to position down on the boxes, he won't have that problem.
Clint Richardson has checked into the game now. Sampson has had some foul trouble as Tony misses from the side, and Caldwell Jones the rebound. Look at Ralph bringing up the floor. And in, Ralph Sampson. 8 points in the first period, 2014. Houston with the 6-point lead.
He looked like a 7'4" Magic Johnson.
Maybe he will. Maybe he knows something that we don't, Dick. Maybe he should be playing outside. Richardson posting on Phil Ford. In and out. And Ford the rebound. And a traveling violation on Phil Ford.
We take a look at Sampson. Here he is in the open court. People, you're watching a 7'4", putting it to the deck, whirling across the lane. Take another angle at it. He's got his head up. Good change of direction on a dribble. Good follow through. You still win championships with your center playing in the lane.
Yeah, but he's fun to watch outside.
Oh, he's exciting.
Tony takes it inside, loses the basketball. Sampson gives it to Phil Ford. Wally Walker. And in. Wally Walker now with 4 points, and it's 22-14. The Rockets now with an 8-point lead, and Billy Cunningham wants a timeout. Timeout on the floor, 3:21 to go, first period, and the sellout crowd here at the Summit in Houston on their feet as the Rockets have an 8-point lead. Great college basketball upcoming on ESPN. Our opening doubleheader, Vanderbilt against Duke, Saturday, November 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time live, followed by Missouri at North Carolina at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time live. ESPN tips off another great season of college basketball coverage with this live doubleheader. Vanderbilt against Duke and Missouri against North Carolina right here on ESPN. The Houston Rockets, Dick, with a 10-0 run to take that 22-14 lead against the Sixers.
Well, it's really been play of 3 people. Sampson's been very dominant, and you had to look at the play of Caldwell Jones, and I'm really impressed with the penetration and the quickness of Mr. Phil Ford. He looks like a reborn player here from last year.
Dick, he went back home to North Carolina this summer and worked some with his college coach, Dean Smith. And it was really at Dean Smith's insistence that Bill Fitch took Phil Ford here in Houston. And spent the summer at home, really worked on his skills, and Phil Ford appears to be back in that form that made him one of the top pro players when he was with Kansas City just a few years ago. Bobby Jones breaks free at the top and hits it. That's the first 2 points for Philadelphia in some span here, 22-16. Franklin Edwards is checked into the game along with Clem Johnson for the Philadelphia 76ers. Lloyd almost traveled outside. Bobby Jones the deflection, and Irving picks it up. They've got a 3-on-1. Bad pass by Julius. Beautiful down the lane, Bobby Jones.
He's made 3 great plays. He made the great steal on the other end, hit the open jump shot prior to hitting the trail for the layup there.
Blocked by Clem Johnson, and it'll be Philadelphia basketball. Now, Clem Johnson's playing on a bum ankle, Dick.
Yes, he hurt his ankle when we had him against San Diego. They throw the lob inside. That's where I'd like to see Ralph work. Throw the high lob up there. He's just got to get a little bit more strength on the lower portion of his body, and he's going to be a dominant player in this league for many a year.
22-18. Forced out of bounds on the baseline was Clem Johnson, and that gets Billy Cunningham off the bench. He says there's got to be a foul or something there.
Well, there's no longer a call as a force. We call him a walking violation. He was bumped, no doubt about it. He was bumped. Poor call.
Checking into the game, Robert Reed, number 33, who has returned, and Wally Walker has come out. Walker will get you about 21 minutes a game. They bring Reed in, and he'll give you about 30 off the bench.
Well, he's flexible. He can play also the small forward as well as the big guard slot.
Reed, of course, laid out of basketball last year for religious reasons, and traveling called on Ralph Sampson as Ralph was trying to put on a little show outside that time. And Cunningham urging his team to push it up, push it up. 1:54 left to go. Franklin Edwards into Clem Johnson. Julius down the lane and draws the foul. Foul's going to be on Bobby Joe Reed. That is his first foul. There's a good look at a young man who would be a tough decision for him, Dick, to take a year off from basketball, maybe even a tougher one to come back.
Well, he was out for a year and a half, and he gained a lot of fame when he played that head-to-head confrontation in championships against Larry Bird defensively. But he gives them an offensive weapon as well, and he's a tremendous plus for the Houston team.
And it's much easier for Bill Fitch to bring a guy like Robert Reed and Alvin Level off the bench, and he can afford to start maybe a young player like a Lewis Lloyd and a role player like Wally Walker. This is a much different Houston team from 1 year ago. And it counts. Franklin Edwards got a hand in, and Sampson able to drop the shot. He now has 10 points in the first period.
Well, Ralph flashes to the basketball, catches it in the paint, turns into the lane, has that velvet soft touch. Once he catches the ball in that area, he's unstoppable.
Sampson 68% from the foul line. Really, Houston not shooting that well, as Sampson misses the first one.
They're shooting 68% as a team, and that's a no-no. You got to get in the high 70s, at least in the middle 70s.
Beautiful pass from Bobby Jones to Franklin Edwards.
Is Bobby Jones a player, Roger? All he does is every phase of the game. He'll pass it, he'll run the break, he'll shoot it, play defense. Great guy coming off the bench.
He's blocked 8 shots in his last 2 games. He can do that too. 24-22. And Phil Ford, no basket as Ford stepped out of bounds. Just over a minute to go, first period. Roger Twibell, Dick Vitale with you at the Summit, Houston, Texas. BJ from the baseline, and he hits it. Bobby Jones now with 6 points. Quickly now, Lewis Lloyd the other end. Bobby Jones the rebound, and here come the Sixers, 3-on-2. Lloyd deflects it, and Sampson comes up with it to Bobby Joe Reed.
Great selection coming out of St. Mary's and San Antonio when he came out of college.
Franklin Edwards in the game very early. Maurice Cheeks has been taken out. Cheeks has struggled a bit this year. Irving the baseline, can't get the scoop. Clement Johnson, jump ball.
Cheeks hasn't played like a real all-star like he's capable of playing, but he's a solid point guard, certainly one of the best in the league. They go as he goes, Roger.
26-24, 2-point Houston lead. Sampson and Johnson. And Ralph controls that tip.
There's a lot of size on that floor for Houston. When you're talking 7'4" with Sampson, 6'11" with Jones.
No time on the shot clock right now.
Doesn't matter. Just go with the 9 seconds.
Billy Cunningham doing a little refereeing from the sideline.
9 seconds left to go first period. Billy said, that's fine. Shot clock's not working. Just go with the 9. Ford puts it up. I don't know if that was an intentional alley-oop to Caldwell Jones or not.
No, we can't give him credit for that, Roger.
Irving from way outside. So a little offense by accident that time for the Houston Rockets. After the first period of play from the Summit in Houston, Texas, it's the Rockets 28 and the Sixers 24. Roger Twibell, Dick Vitale back with you at the Summit in Houston, Texas. Rockets with a 28-24 lead after the first period of play. Ralph Sampson with 10 points so far in the game. And Dick Vitale, where's Ralph been getting his shots at so far in this game?
Well, I'll tell you, Roger, what we're trying to show here, we've been charting Mr. Sampson. As you can see, he's got 2 in a paint area where he's hit 2. He's converted 5 for 7. This indicates a dunk off the fast break, and this is a missed tip inside. We notice a little perimeter here, but a perimeter jump shot from by the foul lane area. On the other side, though, we go to Mr. Malone. He is strictly inside oriented. Here, this indicates 2 dunks, inside traffic basketball right here in the lane. Nothing on the perimeter, as we've seen here a little bit with Mr. Sampson. But he's playing more inside than people have given him credit for. I think he's starting to establish a rhythm that you win in the lane.
And we'll keep tracking that throughout the evening as Ralph Sampson with 10 points in that first period. Moses Malone with 6. And rebounding, Moses had 6 rebounds besides the 6 points. Sampson with 3 rebounds. And Moses now will take a rest as he's been down on the bench since Clem Johnson came in. Sam Williams has checked into the game for the Philadelphia 76ers.
You know, Ralph was really critiqued by a lot of people for not winning big in college. But you know the amazing thing, Roger? Over the last 4 years, the 4 winningest college teams are Virginia with 112 wins, Louisville with 108, and they have Rodney McCray on the bench as we look at Billy Cunningham, the Erasmus High from Brooklyn, former superstar, and North Carolina's 3rd and Missouri 4th. Tomorrow we have that confrontation on ESPN, Carolina and Missouri.
Barry Rogan, the official, talking to the scorers table, and they're going to take the ball inbounds right now. It'll be Caldwell Jones, Phil Ford, Ralph Sampson, Robert Reed, Lewis Lloyd. Edwards applying a lot of pressure on Phil Ford. Clem Johnson, Sam Williams, Clint Richardson, and Julius Irving. Sam Williams, of course, the acquisition from Golden State. He will wear number 33. Clem Johnson, 6'10". That's Caldwell Jones inside, and Clint Richardson the rebound.
They're going offensively to Caldwell Jones a little bit more than they normally do.
Sam Williams, the pass from Clint Richardson.
Good acquisition. Harold Katz hasn't made a mistake yet as the owner of Philadelphia.
Reed way outside and hits it. Robert Reed with 4 points now. Franklin Edwards, number 14, Cleveland State University, has not seen that much playing time. Rather surprised, Dick, to see him in here so early as Irving takes the turnaround. Short, but Clem Johnson that time, the 1 fake, and Sampson throws it away. At that time, Sampson went for the first fake, and a 6'10" guy, he shouldn't have to do that.
Well, he's got to learn how to play position defense a little bit more, and you can't go with a fake in this league. You'll be up there all day.
Edwards wide open on the side. He is a shooter. He misses that one. Caldwell Jones throws it down court to Ford. Pass to Lewis Lloyd. And Sam Williams the rebound. Williams can prove to be the acquisition that Clement Johnson was to Philadelphia a year ago. That's going to be a real plus.
That's what I was saying about Harold Katz. They go out and they get Clement Johnson, they get Williams, and then they make the move for Moses Malone.
Now, I want to tell you what, Clint Richardson out of the corner of his eye saw Sampson coming in, and he threw up a Hail Mary ball. Kicked around. Irving just picks it up with that big hand of his. Franklin Edwards, and in. And it counts.
Good by Franklin Edwards. Foul is on number 27.
Foul's going to be on Caldwell Jones.
There's Dr. J hustling after the basketball. Mr. Superstar, Hall of Famer. There he is, going to drive across the lane.
And Lewis Lloyd.
couple of substitutions now. James Bailey, number 2, will check into the game. And also coming in, number 30, Alan Level, a 5th-round pick out of Oklahoma City University several years ago. And Franklin Edwards now at the line to try to complete the 3-point play.
He's really been struggling.
And Sam Williams went right over Bailey for the rebound and hits it. Good job by Sam Williams.
You know, Edwards has really been struggling as Williams has made 2+ plays since coming off the bench. Edwards is shooting 36%, and we know he's a good shooter.
Tied at 30. 10 minutes to go. First half blocked by Irving. Foul going to be on Sam Williams.
Foul is on number 33, Sam Williams.
So Irving got the block.
Foul on Philadelphia.
He has 30 block shots on the year now.
There's Julius, great extension, excellent timing, just superstar. Every adjective has been utilized to describe his talents.
Maybe we can think up a new one before the year's over, huh? Richardson matches up on levels extremely quick. Now Clem Johnson moved out. That leaves Caldwell in there, but Clem got back to knock it loose.
Well, a great job of hedging, what we call help and recover. Give help and recover back to your man.
6 on the shot clock. Phil Ford outside, and he hits it. You know, he's been reluctant to take that shot, Dick.
Well, that's really been one of the negative parts of Houston basketball is the perimeter jump shot from their guards.
Backcourt violation on Philadelphia.
And Billy Cunningham not too happy. Do you realize, I was teasing Billy before the game, they are 22-4 over their last 26 games, including the playoffs last year. And everybody says, what's wrong with the Sixers?
Alan Level misses from outside. Well, the defending world champions are not supposed to lose. Franklin Edwards underneath. And a foul over the top is going to be on Sam Williams. That is his second.
First ball foul, number 33, Sam Williams, third personal.
He's really aggressive on the floor. In fact, they say the play of Sam Williams has brought a little bit of a spark to Mark Ivoroni, who's played a little better lately than he did earlier.
Well, we saw that in Philadelphia against San Diego. The day Williams was acquired, Ivoroni had a fine night.
Very small backcourt now. You look at Level and Ford out there, you're looking at 2 midgets in this league.
Reed. Fall-away shot over Irving. Edwards, long pass down court to Richardson. Blocked by Level. Good hustle by Clint Richardson to get it back and put it up and in. First 2 points for Clint. And it's 32 apiece with 8:40 to go. First half. James Bailey outside. And he hits it. Now, James Bailey is a guy who was a #1 pick by Seattle, was traded to Jersey. Looks like he's got awesome talent. But they say one night he plays and the next night he doesn't.
Well, in this league, 1 for 3 doesn't make it. 1 for 3 makes it in baseball. 1 for 3 gets coaches fired. You got to come to play every night.
Bailey out on Clem Johnson. Swing it to Julius. 6 on the shot clock and in. Julius Irving now with 8 points.
Tremendous job of reversing the basketball, getting Julius isolated.
Caldwell puts it to the floor. Loose ball, and Julius will bring it down the middle. Sam Williams. And he draws the foul from Robert Reed. That will be his second.
33, Robert Reed, second personal, second team foul.
Look at Julius getting free right here, getting open for the jump shot. There he is. He's being played by Caldwell Jones. Great movement. Caldwell's going to give him, because the word in the scouting report is he's going to beat you. Let him beat you from the perimeter.
Sampson will check back in the game, and Caldwell Jones will sit down. Moses Malone also will come back in. And Lewis Lloyd will replace Phil Ford to get a little more size in the backcourt for the Houston Rockets, as Sam Williams will go to the line to shoot the free throws. Pretty good free throw shooter. 81% so far on the year with Golden State and Philadelphia.
Played at Arizona State. Arizona State right now has, when you look at their basketball team on the sideline, they got an all-pro coaching staff. When you talk about Doug Collins, the former 76er, Henry Bibby, the former 76er.
And Garfield Hurd's a part-time assistant down there. Williams now with 5 points off the bench for Billy Cunningham, and a 35-34 lead for the Philadelphia. As Reed hits it from outside and gives Houston the lead back. Reed now with 6 points.
Reed said he's having so much fun. In fact, he said today that he's having more fun than he did the year they went to the finals with Moses at the post.
Reed matching up on Sam Williams. 10 on the shot clock. And Malone draws the foul as Ralph Sampson went for the first fake again. Ralph has had some foul problems. He's fouled out of 3 of the last 9 and has had 4 more fouls in 9 of the 12 games.
Look how Moses posted up inside. You're not going to move him. He's got great strength in his body. There's that head fake, and there's Sampson making a boo-boo. You teach kids from junior high on, you don't go with a fake, Roger.
Moses Malone now 0 of 3 from the foul line. And Dick, let's